Hi guys, it's Rick Shiels down here at Quest Golf Academy here at Prairie Sports Village. I'm going to continue my top lists for golf clubs this year for 2017. It's the middle of summer, so I thought it'd be a good time to take stock. I've just done the drivers and the irons, and now I'm going to move on to the wedges, and I'm going to do the putters next. So when testing wedges this year, I've been very conscious about not only testing it on GC2 and GC Quad and getting the numbers, I've also been taking it out on the golf course, testing it in Spain, testing it on the grass, testing it in different climates, because that's where the wedges are going to be used more of. Out of the sand, chipping and pitching. And that's really the main factor to putting this list together. Okay, so before we get to the top 5 list, I've got 3 wedges to consider. They've not made my top 5 list, but I feel like these wedges do cater for different types of golfers. So we're going to start off first with the Cleveland RTX 3 wedge. I love the look of this wedge. I feel like it's very simple, not too complicated. They've improved the groove structure and they've moved the centre of gravity up. But for me, the field possibly was a little bit too hard for that wedge. Another wedge for huge consideration is the Wilson FG Tour wedge. This wedge on the flip side, for me, didn't strike me as a good looking wedge, but it did feel well and it did perform very well. But it just didn't sit as comfortable on the eye for me. It wasn't as good looking as a wedge as the top 5 that I've picked. The other wedge in this category as well for wedges to consider is the Ping Glide 2.0 wedge. I was really excited about testing this because for me the looks of this golf club is just incredible. It sits perfectly in line with all the Ping clubs they brought out in the last 18 months, but it was really hard off the head, and I'm not a big fan of a hard wedge. Here's a little clip of me hitting all of these 3 wedges before we get into the top 5 that I've picked for 2017.
Oh, that feel is just astonishing. Look at that. Hard feel, but great flight. Look at the stop.
Okay, so in at number 5, and we've got the TaylorMade milled grind wedge. The milled grind wedge, I love the premise and the idea that the fact it's more machine milled than ever before and it's more precise. I kind of think all wedges should be like that anyway, and they pretty much are going that way. But for me, the wedge really did sit wonderfully. I felt like it performed brilliantly. I felt like it had 95% good looks, 5% detailing around the logo at the back, and some of the text made it look a little bit cheaper. But the performance was outstanding, and it offered a nice feel to it. I wouldn't say soft, but it wasn't particularly hard. Here's a little clip of me testing the TaylorMade milled grind wedge.
I'm still getting that hard feel off the head. They don't feel like soft wedges.
Okay, so number 4, moving up the rankings, we have the Titleist Vokey wedge. Now this is the SM6. These have been out nearly a year and a half at least, but there's no new development of the Vokey line just yet. So the SM6 is still in the line. I love this wedge. Vokey makes such good wedges, and these wedges spin like crazy. Come in different finishes, which I'm always a big fan of in wedges. I had them in the black finish actually, and I really enjoyed these wedges a lot. It's only when I started to feel that maybe they were getting a bit hard, they feel like the head was a little bit harder than some of the other wedges I tested, I'd probably still be using the Vokey wedges in my bag. I've gone for more of a softer feel these days. But the Vokey wedge, you cannot question Bob Vokey and the design team that go into Vokey wedges, the way that they've pushed on with the grinds and the way that the sole and the club interacts with each other. It's a really good wedge. Here's a little clip of me testing it. This was actually last year, but it's still the most current wedge out there for Vokey.
That felt, oh, there we go. That felt honestly really nice.
Okay, so we now get to the top 3 wedges for 2017. This wedge, I was hoping and I prayed it was going to perform brilliantly. Because looks-wise, I know I've mentioned looks a lot of these other wedges, this wedge looked incredible. This is the Mizuno T7. It came in the chrome finish, and I also had it in the blue finish. Man, this is a good looking wedge. It didn't only back it up with good looks, it backed it up with performance, and then it also offered that softer feel as I started to hit it as well. For me, this was a real contender of being a top wedge today. If it was just going to be a little bit softer, it would have been right up there at 2 or 1. But that's just my personal opinion. It's not for everyone. Everyone likes different feels. It's one to consider, the Mizuno T7 wedge.
Can't quite seem to get the strike. I take it all back. They're the best wedge I've ever used.
Okay, so we now move into the top 2 wedges for 2017. This was the most recent wedge I tested. We're in the middle of summer now. I'm sure there's new wedges coming out, but this is one of the ones that I've tested recently, and it was the Cobra Pure Wedge. Spelt P-U-R with a little dash above the U, pronounced pure. This is a forged wedge, super simple, completely chrome, hardly any detailing on it at all. And it was possibly the softest wedge I've tested all year. It was great performance, high spin numbers, high spin characteristics, and it looked incredible. So it like kind of ticked all the boxes when looking for a new wedge. Comes in different bounce options and line options and loads of different degrees, as all of the wedges in this category do. But the Cobra Pure wedge for me just felt fantastic. Here's a little clip of me testing it. Oh, that felt awesome. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching. It felt great. Okay, so in our top spot, number 1 for 2017, this is the best wedge, hands down, that I've tested this year. And it's the Callaway Mac Daddy Forged. For me, it offers so many good benefits. It offers a really good look. It offers it in different finishes. And you add the forging element to this golf club, and it is softer than soft. It is just really good. The front edge is sharp. The overlook of the whole golf club is beautiful. And then you blend that with the feeling of this club when you hit it, and the performance and the spin and the characteristics you get from that. This is why it's been ranked number 1 for me this year. Here's a little clip of me hitting it, and it is the wedge that I have in my bag currently for this particular reason, because they are so soft.
It's the sound, the feel, everything.
Go in. Go in. Guys, thanks for watching the top list of wedges for 2017. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like I mentioned at the start, I've tested these on performance, not only on spin characteristics, on close settings, but also how they fared out on the golf course, hitting them from different lies, different shots, all different variations you're going to get with a wedge. And it's helped me compile this list to help you guys make the right choices when looking for wedges. As always, this is my opinion, so please do only take this into consideration when you're looking for a wedge. Best thing to do with a wedge is try and test them on the grass. Try and test them on the launch ones to get the right flight and the spin numbers for you. But most importantly, get a wedge that you like the look of and that you like the feel of. Guys, if you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button if you've not already. If you like my content, hit the like button. It's muchly appreciated. Comment below what's your favourite wedge. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And stay tuned because I've got a top putter list of 2017 coming soon. And the driver and the iron lists are already on my channel. Click the link up here in the corner. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.